Hello, I am Dr. Sigarkanti. In this video, we recall some definitions and some basics of group theory, which are required for group theory. I'll start with the sets here. This is the set n equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, this goes up to infinity. This set is known as the set of natural numbers. Okay, that is set of natural numbers is usually denoted by n. And next one, this is the set of integers. This consisting of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to infinity and minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 up to minus infinity. This is the set of integers usually denoted by z. And Zn is another set here. This start with 0 and goes up to n minus 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n minus 1. Z5 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Z10 means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9. So that is in general Zn is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to n minus 1. And next one more set Q. So that is a set which consisting of the elements of this form P by Q, where P and Q are integers and the denominator Q is not equal to 0. We call this set as the set of rational numbers. That is, rational number means any number which can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and the denominator Q is not equal to 0. Is defined as a rational number, and so set of all such numbers denoted by Q. This is the set of rational numbers, and this is a real number here. Real number means any number which can be represented by a point on the real line. We call that as a real number. This is also a real number here, and a number which cannot be expressed in this form. A real number which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers, is known as irrational number. For example, root 2 is an irrational number. This is a real number. We can't express this in the form of P by Q. Similarly, root of 5. This is also irrational number. Okay, this is a real number, but this is a irrational. This is not a rational number. Okay, root 5 cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q. Such numbers are known as irrational numbers. And the set of real numbers is denoted by R, capital R, and this consisting of both rationals and irrationals. Okay, and next we go to another set. That is, this is the set. We call this as the set of complex numbers. That is a number which is of the form a plus I into b, where a and b are real numbers, is called a complex number, and set of all such numbers we denote this by C. Usually complex number set is denoted by C. This is a set of complex numbers. And here we can observe that every natural number is an integer. Every natural number is an integer. See here. See, this is a natural number 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are also integers. So that is here every natural number is also an integer. Therefore, we say that n is a subset of z. N is a subset of z. But z is not a subset of n. Converse is not true here, because here minus 2 belongs to z, but minus 2 does not belong to n. Z is not a subset of n. N is a subset of z. And we have every integer is a rational number. Every integer. So, for example, if I take so this is the integer. 2 is an integer. Two is an integer. This belongs to z, and here we can write this 2 as 2 can be written as 2 by 1. So that is, this belongs to Q. Or we can write 2 can be written as 4 by 2 also. So this belongs to Q. So that means here in general, if A is an integer belongs to Z, then I can write A can be written as A divided by 1, or we can write this as 2A divided by say 2. Okay, so and this belongs to Q here. That is because this is a integer, this is also integer, and here denominator is not equal to 0. That means here every uh, uh, integer is a rational number, but every rational number need not be an integer. For example, if I take say 2 by 3, this belongs to Q. This is a rational number. But here, what is happening here is 2 by 3 does not belongs to Z. So that is here, Z is a subset of Q, but Q is not a subset of Z. So here we have N is a subset of Z and Z is a subset of Q. And here Q means it is a set of rational number, therefore it is a real number. Therefore, this again a subset of the real numbers. So 2 by 3 is a real number. 2 by 3 belongs to Q, and this 2 by 3 is a real number. This belongs to R. That is, R is the set consisting of both rationals and irrational. Therefore, we write Q is a subset of R. Okay, Q is a subset of R. And here every real number is a complex number. For example, if you take 2 is a real number, and I will write this that 2 as 2 equal to 2 plus I into 0. This is in the form of A plus IB. This belongs to C. What this implies here is every element belongs to R is an element of C. So this implies R is a subset of C. So therefore here we can write, and here converse is not true here, because here 2 plus 3 into I belongs to C, but 2 plus 3I is not a real number. This does not belong to R. Okay, therefore here we write N is a subset of Z and is a subset of Q and is a subset of R and is a subset of C. So that this way it is okay, but this way it is not true, right? So here we have N is a subset of Z, is a subset of Q, is a subset of R, and it is a subset of C. But the converse is not true here. And next we go to the definition of binary operation. Binary operation means it is some operation here. So let me take G be a set. It is a non-empty set. G be a non-empty, because if it is empty set, everything is defined. Non-empty. Okay. I will take this as a non-empty set. Then only we can define this. Let G be a non-empty set and star is any operation here. This may be plus, minus, multiplication, division, or any other operation. Star be an operation defined on G. Then we say that star is a binary operation if A comma B belongs to G implies A star B belongs to G. Then we say that this star is a binary operation, and we say that G is closed with respect to the operation star, or we say that the closure law is satisfied. This law is known as closure law. If A comma B belongs to G implies that A star B also belongs to G, then we say that the closure law is satisfied. Closure law or closure property. Now let me consider some examples here. I will consider the sets and I will consider the operations here. Let me verify whether they are binary operation or not. First I will consider this n. N is the set of natural numbers, and on this set n I will take plus, minus, multiplication and division. Okay, so here see n is the set here. N is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to infinity. Okay, so this is our n. And here if I take plus is an operation here. And if we take A is any element belongs to this n, okay, and B is any element belongs to n. So that A and B are any two elements belongs to n. Then can I write A plus B also belongs to n? Yes, because here A is a natural number and B is a natural number. Therefore, definitely A plus B is also a natural number. And if I go to A minus B, can we say that this belongs to n? No, this need not belongs to n, because if you consider an example here, A equal to 2, B equal to say 5. Then what happens to this one? A minus B equal to 2 minus 5. This is equal to minus 3. And this does not belong to n. So therefore here this minus is not a binary operation. Okay. And if you go to A into B, if this belongs to n? Yes, definitely here. So A is a natural number, that is 1, 2, 3 for any number here. B is again a natural number, 1, 2, 3 for any number here. And if I multiply these two, then definitely this belongs to n. So therefore here the multiplication is a binary operation. What about the division? Division is not a binary operation. That is here A divided by E need not be an element of n. So here we have, again we take 2 is an element belongs to n, 3 is also an element belongs to n, but 2 by 3 is not an element of n. So that is here, with respect to the set n, and the operation plus is binary operation for is a binary operation on the set n. And if I go to negate minus sign, minus, this is operation here, minus is not a binary operation, plus is a binary operation, minus is not a binary operation, multiplication is a binary operation, division is not a binary operation. Next, if I consider the set, I will change the set here, z equal to, this is a set of integers 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 up to minus infinity. This is our z. Again, if I go to plus here, okay, plus here, then if A and B belongs to z, A and B are any two integers, what about A plus B? Again, this is an integer here, that is A plus B belongs to z. Okay, so that is here, plus is a binary operation. What about minus here? Suppose A and B are any two elements belongs to z, then what about A minus B? A minus B is again an integer. It is positive integer or negative integer. Therefore, this belongs to z. So that means here minus is also binary operation on z. And if you got multiplication here, suppose A and B are any two integers, then what is A into B? Definitely this is an integer. This belongs to z. Therefore here multiplication is also binary operation. And if I go to division here, if I go to division, A and B are any two elements belong to z, then what is division? A by B, this need not be an element of z. Okay, so therefore this division is not a binary operation on z. See here on the set n, plus sign multiplication were the binary operations. Multiplication, division are not the binary operations. But if I change the set here, then plus is a binary operation, minus also becomes a binary operation, and multiplication is a binary operation. Division is not a binary operation. And if I go to the set of irrational numbers, say q, then suppose A and B belongs to A, comma B are any two element belongs to Q, means A is of the form say P1 by Q1 and B is of the form say P2 by Q2. Okay. Now here if I take A plus B, definitely this is if I take the P1 by Q1 plus P2 by Q2, then we take the LCM here, P1 Q2 plus Q1 P2. So this is again in the form of P by Q, therefore this belongs to Q. So that is plus is a binary operation. And if I go to minus here, A minus B, again that belongs to Q. Okay, this is again a rational number. And A into B, so AB also belongs to Q. And if I go to division here, AB, again this belongs to Q. If I accept that, if I not including 0 in Q, because here if I include 0, then uh, while defining the rational number, we define like this: P by Q. Okay, and the denominator is not equal to 0. This is the condition here. So therefore here I am going to exclude 0 from Q. That means I will consider Q minus 0. Okay, then P1 by Q1, this is an integer, this is an integer, neither P1 nor Q1 is 0 here. Again this is an integer, this is an integer, so neither P2 nor Q2 is 0 here. Then if I consider A by B, AB is definitely this belongs to Q. A by B if I consider, then this is of the form P1 by Q1 divided by P2 by Q2 or into Q2 by P2. Again this belongs to Q here. This is in the form of P by Q. So therefore here all of them are binary operations. And similarly, if I go to on R, plus, minus, multiplication, division, so these are all binary operations. And similarly, if I go to the set of complex numbers here, complex numbers, again here sum of the two complex numbers is complex. Suppose if I take Z1 and Z2 belongs to C, then Z1 plus Z2 is again a complex number, because here if I Z1 is equal to A1 plus I into B1 plus Z2 is say A2 plus I into B2. Then if I add, what we get here is A1 plus A2 plus, from these two, I into B1 plus B2. So this is in the form of A plus I into B, where A is a real number, B is a real number. So that is, this belongs to C. So that is here, if Z1, Z2 belongs to C, then Z1 plus Z2 also belongs to C. And similarly, if I take minus sign here, so that if I go to minus here, what about Z1 minus Z2? This is nothing but, so here I am getting minus here. So here, this is minus, okay, this is minus. That this becomes A1 minus A2 plus I into B1 minus B2. Again, this belongs to C. So that is here, this is also binary operation. And what about multiplication? So that is Z1 into Z2. This is equal to A plus IB divided by A1 plus IB1 into Z2, that is A2 plus I into B2. If I take this multiplication here, A1, A2, from this to this one, plus I into A1, B2 plus, next this to this, plus I into B1 A2, and here this is plus I square into B1 B2. This is equal to A1 A2 plus, from these two terms if I take I common factor here, A1 B2 plus A2 B1. Here I square is nothing but minus 1. So this is minus B1 B2. So this is nothing but A1 A2 minus B1 B2 plus I into A1 B2 plus A2 B1. This belongs to C. This is in the form of A plus I into B, where A is a real number, B is a real number. Okay. So this belongs to C. So multiplication is also closure lies satisfied for this multiplication. This is binary multiplication is a binary operation for the set of complex numbers. And what about the division. If Z1 and Z2 belongs to C, then what about Z1 by Z2? Is this a complex number? Yes, this is a complex number because here Z1 is A1 plus I into B1, Z2 is A2 plus I into B2. This is equal to, what I do here is, I will multiply and divide by the conjugate of this, that is here A2 minus I into B2 divided by A2 minus I into B2. This is equal to, see, numerator becomes A1 A2, A1 A2, A1 A2, and if I take these two terms here, plus into minus is minus, okay, I into I square minus 1, minus into minus is again plus B1 B2, plus B1 B2 plus, next if you take I into this term here, I B1 into this term, so this is equal to I into B1 A2, B1 A2 and B1 A2, and if you take this term here, again I into A1 B2, that is minus I am writing outside here, this is A1 B2, this is the numerator, divided by denominator is A plus B into A minus B. So this is our A square minus B square. Okay, A square minus B square, that is A square is A2 square minus B square means I square B2 square. I square is minus 1. This becomes plus B2 square. See, the numerator is, this is some real number plus I into some real number whole divided by, this is again a definitely a real number. This can be written as this term divided by this term plus I into this term divided by this term. This is in the form of A plus I into B, therefore this belongs to C. So that is here. Z is closed with respect to division. That is, division is a binary operation. Okay. So this is about the binary operation. And next we go for the associative law. Suppose is any set here is a non-empty set. Okay, write non-empty set. Non-empty set, and star be a binary operation defined on G. Then we say that associative law is satisfied if this. So that is A star B, A star of B star C equal to A star B star C. This must be true for all A, B, C belongs to G. Now we consider the sets here. Again we consider the set N, Z, Q, R, C with respect to plus, minus, multiplication and division. Okay. So here, first I will take the set N and operation is plus here. With respect to addition, A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Can we write this? Definitely, because this is the addition. In any manner we can add, and not only on this set N. The associative property depends on the operation, not on the set. Therefore, plus, that is our usual addition. Our usual addition is associative. It's always associative. Okay, usual addition is always associative on this N or Z or Q or R. Okay, and you can take C here. So that is for all N, Z, Q, R, C. This plus is associative. And if you go for the minus here, then here it is not associative. This is not associative. Go to any of the set here. See here, because here A minus of B minus C is equal to, can I write like this? Sorry. A minus B minus C. Can I write this is equal to A minus of B minus C? No. Because if you take here 2 minus 3 minus 4 is equal to 2 minus 3 minus 4. What is the left hand side? 2 minus 3. 2 minus 3 is minus 1 minus 4. On the right hand side we have 2 minus this quantity is minus 1. So the left hand side is minus 5. Right hand side is 2 minus of minus here plus 2 plus 1. This is equal to 3. So which is not true here. So therefore here minus is not associative. But similarly multiplication is associative, because here we can write A into BC equal to AB into C. Okay, AB into C. But here division is not associative, because here A divided by B by C is not equal to A by B by C. Okay. So therefore here division is not associative here. So this is known as the associative law. Next we go for defining the identity element. Identity element, that is an element denoted by E in G, is said to be identity if this is satisfied. A star E equal to E star A equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to G. And here we go to an example. See here, suppose if we consider the operation plus, okay, if we consider operation plus, and with respect to our usual addition plus, 0 is an element, and here we can write A plus 0 equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. And the set may be, you can take Z is the set, or Q, you can take Q, or you can take R. Okay. So that is here. In this case, what is happening here is 0 is in the place of E. 0 is in the place of E. So E is the identity with respect to addition. Okay. E is the identity with respect to addition. Whatever may be the set here. It may be Z, or it may be Q, it may be R. Whatever may be the set. With respect to plus, 0 is the identity element. And if I go for multiplication here, multiplication, see 1 is an element here, and we can write A into 1 equal to 1 into A, E is equal to A, and this is true for all A. Whatever may be the set here, this set is Z or Q or R. Okay, so therefore here 1 is the identity element. In place of E, I have 1 here. So 1 is the identity with respect to multiplication, and 0 is the identity with respect to addition. Okay, this is known as the identity element, and depending on the operation, this identity element changes, right? And next we define inverse element. Inverse element. See, if we have, this is the operation plus, okay, our usual addition, and here with respect to this plus we have 0 is the identity element. Okay, 0 is the identity element. Inverse element is defined as, usually we denote the inverse element by a to the power minus 1. we denote the inverse by a to the power minus 1. And we say that this is the inverse of a if this is to a star a inverse equal to a inverse star a is equal to e. That is, if I write with respect to this plus here, then a plus a inverse equal to a inverse plus a is equal to e means e equal to 0, right? And this is the addition here. Then what is the value of a inverse here? A plus this must be minus a. This is equal to minus a plus a. This is equal to 0. So that is inverse of 10 is minus 10. Inverse of 20 is minus 20. And inverse of minus 15 is plus 15. Okay. So that is in general inverse of a is minus a. So with respect to addition, minus is the, with respect to addition, minus is the, minus of a is the inverse element. And if we are in multiplication, then what is the identity element here? Identity element is 1. Okay, this is our E. And here we have, can I write a into 1 by a equal to 1 by a into a is equal to, can I get 1 here? Yes, definitely I am getting 1 here. That means here, this is the inverse of a, or this is the inverse of 1 by a. So that is here, inverse of a with respect to multiplication is 1 by a. This is the inverse element. Next we go for defining another one, commutative law. Commutative law. So what is the commutative law? Commutative law is suppose we have if a star b equal to b star a, this is true for all a and b belongs to G, then you say that commutative law is satisfied. Suppose we have addition, usual addition. Let me verify. Can I write a plus b equal to b plus a? Yes, I can write. Therefore, here commutative law holds for addition. What about minus? Can I write a minus b equal to b minus a? No. Okay, this is not equal. So that means here commutative law is not true for minus. What about for multiplication? Can I write ab is equal to ba? So with our usual multiplication here, yes, this is true. Therefore here commutative law holds for multiplication also. What about the division? So that is, can I write a by b equal to b by a? No, this is not possible. This is not equal here. Therefore here commutative law is not true for this division. This is known as the commutative law. Okay. So here we have discussed some of the definitions, properties here. That is what is meant by identity element, what is the closure law, what is inverse element, what is commutative law, what is associative law, what do you mean, what is the meaning of closure law, what is the binary operation, and how we denote the sets. Okay. Now we define algebraic structure. Algebraic structure. Algebraic structure. So that is here. Suppose G is any non-empty set and star is any operation defined on any binary operation defined on G, then the pair, if I write like this is defined as the algebraic structure. That is, this is nothing but the pair. That is one non-empty set together with a binary operation is called an algebraic structure. You can write here Z comma plus is an algebraic structure. Z comma into is an algebraic structure, R comma plus is an algebraic structure, C comma plus is an algebraic structure. That is a non-empty set together with a binary operation is called an algebraic structure. This is the definition of the algebraic structure. Okay, I will stop here. In the next video, I will define group. Okay, thank you. I will stop here.